Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the first official mini-series for my Wiki Reading YouTube channel. The first mini-series we will be covering is Carrie by Stephen King. Whew. First off, let me say I'm out of breath. So I'm sorry, because I was kind of rushing to get in place for this because I briefly was thinking of ideas and got caught on a list of ideas, and then I started videoing the ideas, and now there's some live wikis and a news wiki and a whole bunch of other awesome, interesting videos to check out for you guys there. So, without further ado, with my panting and being annoyingness, let us begin. Carrie, novel. Author Stephen King, country USA, language English, genre horror, epistolary, tragedy, publisher Doubleday, publication date April 5th, 1974. Media type, it's a hardcover book, pages 199. And here's how it's going to go, guys. Since this is going to be a long article, we're going to break it off into 5 different parts. That's right. As I said before, this will be a mini-series, my first official mini-series. This is to get me more comfortable with this kind of stuff. I think after this, we'll be good to go, guys, for some more serious articles, like World War II. All right. Let us begin. Carrie is an American. Well, we can skip that part because it's not important. All right, let us begin. The plot summary. Lead up to the prom. Part 1, Blood Sport. Ever since grade school, Carrietta, a.k.a. Carrie N. White, has been the subject of abuse from her unstable fundamentalist Christian mother, Margaret White, who broke away from mainstream Christianity and founded her own religion, of which she and Carrie are apparently the only adherents. Carrie is frequently locked in a closet for hours on end and ordered to pray for such transgressions, as showing interest in celebrities, going to summer camp where she is bullied so severely she is forced to leave early, and listening to rock music. She is forced to wear unbecoming and outdated clothes and forbidden to wear red. She has a severe acne problem, which her mother tells her is a punishment from God. Carrie doesn't fare much better at school. She has been a social outcast since first grade. At the beginning of the novel, Carrie, a senior at Thomas Ewan Consolidated High School in Fiction, Chamberlain, Maine. Oh my gosh, I knew it would get. How did hands up? Who knew it was going to be Maine? Oh my god. Her. We need to keep a tally. Okay. Stephen King's Gerald. Okay, that's took place in Maine. So that's the first book took place in Maine. Carrie took place in Maine. So the first 2 books so far have taken place in Maine. So keep that in mind, guys. All right. And basically, she ends up having her first period while showering after gym class. Ouch. Carrie is terrified, having no concept of menstruation, and believes she is bleeding to death. Instead of sympathizing with her, her classmates taunt her and throw tampons and sanitary napkins at her. Well, at least they're trying to be sanitary, They could throw, like, dirty napkins and, like, shitty toilet paper at her. Oh, pardon my language. As Carrie is aided by her own gym teacher, Rita Desjardins, who realizes Carrie has no knowledge of menstruation. A light bulb in the shower explodes and a rack of baseball bats falls over, spilling the bats onto the floor. When Margaret finds out about the incident, she beats Carrie, claiming that this is God's way of punishing her, and locks her in the closet for hours to pray for forgiveness. The next day, Miss Desjardins orders the girls who bullied Carrie to serve a week's detention in gym. The leader of the bullies, Chris Hargensen, refuses to attend and is suspended for 3 days. She's also banned from the Ewan's highest prom. However, another girl, Sue Snell, feels remorse for her prior actions and offers to become Carrie's friend. Meanwhile, Carrie gradually discovers that she has telekinetic powers and learns how to keep them under control. With prom fast approaching, Sue convinces her handsome boyfriend, Tommy Ross, to ask Carrie to prom. As a way for her to finally fit in, Margaret forbids her from attending, but Carrie uses her powers to help stand up for herself. Smarting from being banned from prom, Chris and her boyfriend, Billy Nolan, hatch a plan to humiliate Carrie in front of the entire school. Chris has Billy kill 2 pigs at a nearby farm and drain their blood into 2 buckets. Billy then rigs the buckets over the stage on a rafter hidden out of sight on prom night. On prom night, I almost said Billy. On prom night, Carrie is tormented by Margaret, begging for her not to leave the house. Margaret begins hurting herself, trying to convince Carrie to stay at home and pray with her. But Carrie leaves anyway and arrives with Tommy. She is nervous at first, but everyone begins treating her equally. Soon, Carrie begins enjoying herself and Tommy because she becomes romantically attracted on her. I just butchered that sentence. Meanwhile, Sue is at home, continually worrying about what's happening at the prom and fretting about the fact that her own period is late. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is part one. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm sorry for butchering a lot of that. We are doing this, and we are going to kick butt with part two, all right? So I will see you guys for part two.